Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, sitting down with former Oakland Raider, Hard Knock star, and former Lions fullback, linebacker, Jason Cabinda. Bro, appreciate you for pulling up, my guy.
Appreciate y'all having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Where can people find you? Tell some people maybe what you got going on right now.
Social media, Twitter, Instagram, at Jason Cabinda. Keep it simple, you know. I think this all season, you're going to see a guy who shoots in the 90s finally get an 89. So if you want to, you want to see a guy in his golf journey, just getting right, go ahead and shoot me a follow, bro.
I appreciate that. So right now you're currently a free agent. If you could pick one team to land on right now, maybe it's culture, maybe it's a head coach like Antonio Pierce, I don't know. If you could pick one team that you want to sign with this offseason, what team would that be?
Ain't nobody that I'd rather play for right now than the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell. That's for damn sure. So
hey,
you can let that be known.
All right, hey, I respect it. I respect it.
Yo.
So I was really excited about getting this opportunity because I'm a Penn State guy myself. I've been to a few Raiders tailgates. I think the two most legendary game day experiences I have ever been to are a whiteout at Penn State and then a Raiders game in Oakland. You've been a part of both.
Yeah.
Which one's better?
Which one's better? You're going to get a whole lot of rowdiness out of both sides, but it's something unique about that Penn State Stadium, man. Like, Beaver Stadium is just absolutely unreal, and the energy of a whiteout in there, just nothing compares. So it's Beaver for me, but I love those games in Oakland, man. Oakland was different.
You guys heard it. He's a big Beaver guy, so
yeah.
hold the pause going there. So we got our start here on the Raiders Report. If you guys haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button. We were featured on Hard Knocks back in 2019. I have heard one story that has stuck with me for a very long time. So I had the opportunity, my guy, very well connected, Garoppolo Conley. It was the Antonio Brown, Mike Mayock cracker story. What was your standpoint when you heard Antonio Brown called the GM at the time, Mike Mayock, a cracker? Again, you're a rookie at that point, right? Like, you're just getting started second year.
I'm basically a rookie. It was like going into my second year,
What was that whole environment like with the whole Antonio Brown? Can you give me one story that you're like, dude, that's just stuck with me?
I think since the time that AB had gotten there, he had a little sense of, like, I don't want to say doing his own thing, because sometimes you have your own routine and certain stuff that you do to get your body right and stuff like that. So, like, before we'd warm up, like before practice stuff, like, AB kind of had his own routine he did on the other field. Yeah. And I just remember there was like a growing sense of, like, that kind of pissing the coaches off, that AB wasn't like, a perfectly in line type of guy. And, and some guys just aren't like that. And for a guy with his kind of resume, like, who are you to argue, or really get that mad about what he's got going on? Because obviously, it worked for him.
Yeah, he's AB.
But as the days went on, you could feel there was a certain testing, and it'll be little things that maybe AB wouldn't do, like, I'm not doing this one-on-one session, or, like, we got this, I'm not going to do that. And I just remember him walking from that warm-up area to finally join where we were in our warm-up or whatever the case may be. And I don't remember what Mike said to spark it. I don't know if AB might have gotten with an argument with our receivers coach before that, and then Mike just said something, and AB it was like immediate, right back at him. I was like, oh, man. I was like, this is the league? Like, I couldn't believe, like.
This is the league.
I couldn't believe that it was happening, bro. So that was a very different moment where I just realized, like, they'll tolerate you depending on what you bring. Like, that's
how it is. That's life.
That's how it works.
Business.
That's when I first really realized that, like, wow.
That's different. So my next question that I got for you is, since we cover the Raiders here, Lions, the last game that Josh McDaniels hopefully ever coaches again, the Detroit Lions whooped up on Las Vegas 26-14. From your standpoint, did the Raiders seem like a defeated football team? Like Josh McDaniels, to me, was a bad culture fit, and I love the fit that they have with AP. I speak with a lot of Raiders players, and they feel rejuvenated. Like that's the guy I want to go play for. What was like on the other side of it? Can you tell when a team is just like, F this coach, I'm out?
The thing is, I've been a part of that coaching tree with Matt Patricia when he was here in Detroit, and so I know exactly what types of tactics are employed, and
the
how
New England
things
way
are run. Like, it's the Patriot way, and the Raiders that's not
the Patriot way.
It just don't fit.
It
doesn't go together. So it's like when you try to force that, you try to force guys to be robots. super no fun. Guys, walking around with their assholes tight all day because they don't want to make a mistake. Like
You're a loose butthole
that's
guy.
the culture.
Hey, I get it.
That's the culture. Guys aren't comfortable. Guys aren't being themselves. Guys aren't having fun. I mean, bro, the league is hard. It's hard to win in this league.
Life's
That's just
hard.
the reality.
Yeah.
You can never take what at the end of the day is why we all started playing this game. It's because we just loved it. Because it was fun. You can't take that aspect away from it. Even though, we have a job to do, we're making money, boom, 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 et cetera. I get all that. But at the end of the day, you want the guys you're playing with to love what they do. And you can't create an environment in the building where guys are going to the building and not want to be there.
Yeah.
And that's what that is.
No, hey, I mean,
that's what that is.
One of the,
that,
all the time, people are like, oh, I don't know if Antonio Pierce is the right guy, his resume, this and that. One of my comps for AP is Dan Campbell. It's a guy where, you got to be able to show up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you're like, that's a guy I want to go to war for. And to me, like, that's the type of dude AP is. Like, to me, I think of Mike Tomlin. When Mike Tomlin talks, you listen, right? When Antonio Pierce talks, you listen. How about, what's it like playing for a guy like Dan Campbell? Because I do think Raider Nation, Raider fans in general, it's that new sense of, that's a guy I want to go to war for. So from your standpoint, the Lions this season were the team that, outside of the Raiders, I think the entire NFL world rooted for because it was Detroit. You could feel that type of environment. What's it like playing for a guy like Dan Campbell? Like, I know right now you're a free agent. You said that's the place that you want to go back to. You said that for a reason. What's it like playing for a guy like that?
I mean, he's a true leader of men. He's like the absolute perfect prototypical football coach you'd want to play for, like the Army general, the Army commander. Like, that's how he conducts his business. The same dude every single day. Is super accountable, but also allows everybody to be themselves and for us to have our own swagger about ourselves. And I think that's important in itself to
absolutely
establish that environment, And Dan's an emotional guy. And he cares so much about us, and you see it in the way he coaches us every day, And I mean, when you see that, that's the kind of guy you want to run through a brick wall for. It's the kind of guy you want to play for. And you see him and Brad and the interviews they've been having lately, and kind of about the type of guys and the type of people we have in our building, and you could tell they don't sacrifice talent for the culture. They don't.
Yeah.
And they live it every single day. They don't just, it's not lip service. Everything they say, they mean, and they're genuine about it, and they try to do and go about their business the right way in what can be a very crappy business at times.
Facts.
All those things go really appreciated, man. I absolutely love playing for Dan.
I love hearing that stuff. And I mean, I think anytime you have that ability, because whether I want to show up to work on a tough day, if you have that person that you feel like, all right, that's a guy I can go to battle for, that can go a long way. All right, so the Raiders right now, we're looking for a quarterback. You ever played the game Kill One, F1, Marry One?
I have.
Well, we're going to play it, luckily for you. So
Lord.
We got Aidan O'Connell, Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr. Kill one, marry one, F1, quarterback style. Who's going to be the quarterback that you want your franchise guy to be? Who's the guy you're like, we're getting rid of this dude? Who's the dude you're like, you know what? If I got to get a spot start from him, we'll roll with him.
I wish I saw.
Who we killing? Who we killing?
I wish I paid a little bit more attention to Aidan O'Connell. I feel like I'm not all the way up on it, but I think it's kill Aidan O'Connell.
All right, so you're killing Aidan. That means we're either effing Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, no homo. Fuck Derek Carr.
Okay.
And marry Jimmy G. I think that's a safe.
You think that's safe?
That's safe.
Okay, so you're telling me you have more confidence in Jimmy Garoppolo than Derek Carr for a full season.
I love Derek, too. I love Derek.
Okay.
Honestly, truly.
Hey.
Derek was a great quarterback when I was there, man. For real.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really did.
I respect it. All right, so we'll go a few more questions here. Based off of your experiences in the NFL, who's like one dude that you're like, that's been a mentor to me? Because like to me, I think of when I first started, Matthew Berry, Field Yates, some of these guys, like it was why I got into podcasting. It's why we started a show, and now we have millions of subscribers across all of our YouTube channels. Who's like one dude, maybe it was a mentor on the Raiders early on, a guy on the Lions, you're like, you know what, I'm going to look back at my career in 10 years, I'm like, I'm where I am because of that guy.
I think having Derek Johnson and Tyre early in my career were big
Whitehead?
for me. Tyre Whitehead
Okay.
and Derek. Just because of the way they went about their business, bro. I mean, they were true pros. I mean, obviously, Derek at that time was an old head. I mean, maybe year 12 or 13 or whatever. But, like, to see guys still have those the effort level in drills, you know, and to see how important the technique is and the fundamentals and just how serious they still took the little things. I think that was a really great example for me early in my career because it kind of just taught me that mindset that, like, it doesn't matter how good you ever get, how much money you're being paid, whatever the case may be, like, sticking to the fundamentals, doing all the little things and doing them right and sticking to the process and being very intentional about your process day in and day out will always be what drives your results. So
absolutely.
I'm really happy to have those guys early in my career.
So the Raiders right now, we're in an interesting spot, picking number 13. The Raiders have never picked 13 in their entire history. If there's a quarterback out there and that's your guy, to me, Antonio Pierce has been like, you know, you bet on a guy like Jack Jones, and he's more of, hey, trust me, if this is my guy, let me go get him.
Mm-hmm.
Jayden Daniels, to me, is AP's guy, right? Gives him a shout-out. Gives him a shout-out at the Heisman. They bring in Marvin Lewis. Now he's an assistant head coach with AP. If you were the Raiders and I told you it's going to cost 3 picks this year, your first, second, and third, this year, next year, and 2 starting caliber players to go up and get Jayden Daniels.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Are you a team, though? You're going up against Patrick Mahomes. Now Jim Harbaugh's in the division.
It's just the thing.
Sean Payton.
The thing with this league is, at the end of the day, if you want to win, you want to be a contender, you need to have a good quarterback. That's just the reality. And maybe not necessarily always having a good or really great quarterback, but you need consistent quarterback play.
Yeah.
You need to be able to go out on Sunday and know exactly what you're going to get every Sunday, day in and day out. So I think if you have that kind of situation and you think a guy is, you know, that talented, you do go get him because at the end of the day, your franchise is never going to get to where you want it to be unless you have that piece in play.
Do you think Jayden Daniels,
from that standpoint,
is Jayden to me, Jayden's the guy that I want to take a chance on. Heisman Trophy winner, but he has shown that he's gotten better and better and better. If you're the Raiders right now, do you do it? Like, is it let's make it happen, or you sit back?
I don't think it's an absolute necessity, but if he's your guy and you feel that strongly about him, then yes, you go get him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, y'all, this is Jason Cabinda. Tell them where they can follow you one more time, my guy. I've been following this dude. Shout out to him since Penn State. I used to play baseball in Flemington. I'm a New Jersey guy myself, and anytime I have an opportunity to sit down with somebody, your story with you and your mom on Hard Knocks was probably one of the coolest stuff. Like, my mom, she's not a sports person. She was like, yo, did you see that story with Jason? And I was like, yes, I did. That's where I had the opportunity to meet Crosby. Really cool. And seeing you grow, and I know you're not a part of the Raiders, but it is the once a Raider, always a Raider, from Hard Knocks to Oakland. I appreciate the hell out of the fact that you decided to pull up here with the nation tonight. But tell people one more time where they can follow you. If you got anything going on, shout it out there, and we'll make sure to send some people your way.
Not too much, man. Just follow me at Jason Cabinda. I keep it simple, man. Just keep it simple. I appreciate you guys having me.
Appreciate you.
Once a Raider, always a Raider. I always be very appreciative.
I'll tell you this: if you want AP, I guarantee you this: if you hit us up, if you're looking for a spot, and if you don't get brought back by Lions, I bet you the nation would open you with open arms, man.
All right. Good to hear.
All right,
Good to hear.
Again, y'all, Jason Cabinda, former Lion, forever Oakland Raider, free agent right now. We'll see where he ends up signing this offseason.